gotta make a new overlay, like, man. Okay. I just gotta make a new overlay, like, oh yeah, okay. Smooth. What is oh. What the fuck? Aha. Let me see. I think it should be good.
Power engaged. Warning.
Another 3-frame Laura? Aaron. Okay. This is row. One of these has to be crossing there. Ah, there you go. Okay. Yeah, +5. Word, the big bird. Andy, how does it look on your end? I wish that would work. I'll be so cheap. Damn, that did so much damage. Alright, cool. Work. Cool beans. What the fuck? Not bad. What's up, Anthony? That's funny. Yeah, but how many of them can play Birdie? Can you play Birdie? Birdie's so cheap. My name is Manad. Every time, yo, he always asks me. He's like, I don't understand. What is this joke? What does this joke mean? That's so funny. I wish I was going to NCR. I don't even know if he's going though. But yeah, that shit is so funny, dude. Works in the corner. Oh. Yeah, that was one of my GOAT FGC moments. That shit was mad funny. And the best part is he'll never understand any of it, because we don't understand any of it. Are you competing at NCR, Ant? Producto, thank you for joining. Wait, why does that name sound so familiar? Producto. Is that Smash? Let me see. I'm gonna do my Batman research. Oh, what is this? Oh, snap. What the hell? That's the famous Smash guy. I know him. He made that guy cry once. I will be competing drunk as fuck. Yeah, that sounds fairly accurate. Oh, thanks, Anthony, for following me. Did you like that follow emote? Or GIF or whatever? GIF? Jiffy Lube? For only one reason, to crush dreams. Yeah, you've been crushing dreams since I've met you. Remember what you did to Ricky? Yeah, you beat Ricky at final round last year, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that tournament was crazy. Oops. Oh yeah, you told me you like barely lost to him, right? Cause like a timeout happened or some shit, or a stick malfunction. I don't remember. Or did his stick malfunction and you took a round? You cheater. Scumbag crack fiend. What's up, Mike? How you doing, bro? Thank you for joining. Thank you for retweeting. I just saw you retweeted it earlier. I appreciate you. You the man. RMZ. What's the next tournament you're going to? Meeting in 5 minutes. Just want to buy. Okay, thank you, Anthony. I appreciate you, man. You're the man. Hopefully, I see you soon. Dark man, what's going on, buddy? How are you, man? So yeah, Mike, what tournament are you going to next? I wanted to go to DreamHack, but I don't know yet. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Whee! Things work out for me soon. Probably DH Austin. Word. That'd be pretty sick. I actually really want to go to that tournament, man. Especially because I've been playing a lot. Like, I wasn't really playing leading up to the final round. I don't even know how the fuck I made it out of pools. That was surprising. Ah. Why did I hit it? In cahoots with a couple teams, winky face. I dig it, man. You deserve it. You work hard. I definitely commend you for that, so just make it happen, man. Take advantage. And even if things don't work out, keep on striving. You know, eventually it will. Why wouldn't it? You know what I'm saying? You said cahoots. That's mad funny, Mike. What are you, like 60 years old? That's funny. Things seem promising right now, like for sure, but I'm not one to get hopes up. I like to stay calm about it. I mean, who cares if you get excited, you know? Like, I'd be excited as hell if I had teams, like, looking at me, you know? Cahoots is a funny word. That's bad funny. Tatsu the God! That's the prodigy. That's the young man from the village of the West Coast. I heard you all grown up now. You don't play Street Fighter because you're a grown man. Is that what happened? Oh man, they're regulating like that. What's their reason? They just like don't want you to try to juggle school and Street Fighter. Is that what it is? Because if that's the case, I understand. Especially if they know, they're like, oh, I know how my son is. That motherfucker tries to be the best. We can't allow this. Oops. I gotta get this down. I wanna master this eventually. I could do it so much easier with Karen than with Cammy. Oh god, dude. I saw that picture on Twitter, man. I don't even think it's that big of a deal. Because everybody thinks they're better than everybody else, you know what I'm saying? So it's like whatever. I don't take it that serious. What's up, Marquise? Thank you for joining. You know? I mean, FGC, we're men, we have egos, you know what I'm saying? Females too, you know, the female competitors. We're all competitive, so it's like, I wouldn't even take any offense to it if I was Art or Champ, you know? I just think it's corny whoever screenshotted it and sent it to him, if that was the case. What's up, Will? Isn't he in that group? I thought he was in it. I don't know, man. anything that will end up on front page of R Kappa, I wouldn't entertain, because you know it's probably not going to be a healthy topic. That's mad funny if he really did have 2 accounts. I only see booty on Har. That's funny. Left him around Cap Round Cup and almost left the group of shambles and made everyone turn out guilty for a bit, and it really sucked. Wow. So I can't be a part of groups, man. I just rather be solo. That someone actually just sent him it, but it is one of those who knows things. Yeah, that's true, Mike. That's true. I mean, again, whatever. I don't care about any of that. I wish that worked. Whoa. So I had to be at least plus 3. Oh, Elias, what's going on, baby? Sneaking up in my chat like that.
Together.
Oh, John. Yeah, that is Wolf Crone. He'll just start spazzing on people like randomly. He's such a good dude, though. I love that guy. None of it amounts to anything, and it's just people waving around. Yeah, pretty much. Wow, okay. Please, keep things private, Sir Elias. I'm just joking. Thank you, N. Rodriguez. Mr. Nick. Mr. Nicholas. I'm assuming that's Nick. I'm chilling, man. I saw you message me like past couple days, but I've been like getting all this stuff set up, and I had to set up, fix my room a little bit. Working, that also is a thing. But you know, life is good, man. No complaints. For sure. I'm about to start my lecture, my discussion. Start it in like probably 10 minutes. I'll go do it at 11:20. Just wait for more people to come in. So that way people don't come in and say, "Oh my God, Zaf, I'm missing the lecture. Damn it." Oh no, PD made this like a year and a half ago, this layout, at least, but he never fucking sent it to me. So I was like, yo, Pete, you mind like sending me the artwork? And I just kept asking him, and he never sent it to me. And then he randomly sent it to me, and I was like, oh, thanks. I appreciate this. Yeah, ESL was mad fun, man. Hopefully DreamHack. Let's see how that works. Prices for the flights aren't looking too good. Oh, you're the man. Yeah, I want to do like a full screen overlay type thing, but when I have full screen gameplay. Whee! Yeah, I want to go though. I definitely want to go. Damn it. When will you know for sure? I'll definitely know by Friday. Yeah, Camby did, wait, in France, did Camby do well? Who was, oh, for Lauren, yeah, true. Oh, haha, Tatsu, thank you. That's mad cheap, yo, look at this. It's plus 3, when you hit last frame. Let me see, so you see how she's, okay. Mad damage. That was so cheap. Yeah, Idazan was playing godlike. Zeph, have you thought about hitting up Seam? Flight Seam decently inexpensive for these versus import, from my knowledge. Yo, I would actually love to do that. That would be sick as fuck. When is it? Is it in the summertime? Because I don't have anything lined up for the summer besides CEO. I'm not going to Evo this year. Yeah. Wow, that hit. Ooh, that was. Ooh. Damn. That was cheap as fuck. Oh my god, that was brutal. But if they were standing, I don't think that would have hit. Yeah. So that's gonna be good against characters with 3-frame crouching jabs. What's up, Philip? Elias, no, sir. I don't have my bots set up like that. I don't even know how to do that, to be honest. Somebody's gonna have to teach me at some point. I literally just sit like on random days. I'll just sit on my computer and just look and just listen to mad instrumentals. I'm like, do I like the ambiance of this? Yes, no, no, not really. I try to like structure it so it's like, you know, I'll have the really hype instrumentals at the start of my stream, so people come in, they're like, damn bro, this is pretty cool, man. Yeah. And then, you know, like when I'm actually discussing something, I'll put more mellow hip hop, something like that. This is Lone by, it's by Lone, so Lone, Dream Ache. Dream Ache. Like ache, like, ah, fuck. New Akuma Tech. What is this new Akuma Tech? Oh man, it's a 12-minute video. I'll watch that later. Yeah, this track is dope. It's in October or some shit. Probably wrong. Maybe it is. Let me see. South. Let me see. Let me Google this. Southeast Asia Major. I don't see anything. Huh, that's weird. It could be one of those things like... It could be one of those things where that tournament is like sponsored pretty well, so they just have the leverage of doing shit last minute. So maybe that's why it's not a thing yet. I don't know. That's mad funny. The playlist gets better and better. Alright guys, I'm gonna start in 5 minutes. Thank you for being so patient with me. That's funny. It's from the same dude. It's called Wildfire Propeller. I feel like I'm being used and abused for my instrumentals. Cool beans. Thanks for joining, Philip. I know you guys don't have to on the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? It's mad late and shit. Louis Vuitton Don, thank you for joining. Search 117. I appreciate you as always. Yeah, it's definitely not gonna work. That's like really good to do against people that always V-reversal, right when they're about to get stunned, because you know usually when they do that, they're like, oh, I'll take this V-reversal. Why not? Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? He's gonna throw me. He's gonna throw option select me, and I'm right back where I was anyways because it's gonna be exactly 200 stun. Because you know it takes off 200 no matter what, and throws are typically 200. But with Cammy, you do this, that's 250. That's guaranteed stun. Plus 150, 150 to start a combo. Like, how much damage? Let me see. Next attack. I mean, that's 2 bars, but let's see. 4091 bars, not bad. So what if I have? If I use 2 more? 463. That's basically a super combo. It's pretty good. pretty good. Oh yeah, true. I forgot. V-trigger. Duh. $440. One bar, one EX bar, all V-trigger. I'll take it. I'll take it. $468. It's pretty good. Damn. That's really good shit. Wow. And it catches jump back over. No, it would EX. I don't. That's actually a good question. I never. You might be onto something, Billy. Let me see. Oh yeah. Okay. So record jump back. Oh, oops. Wait, which one did I set it to? What the fuck, guys? Oh, God. That was definitely number one. Alright, cool. Oh! That's actually... I'd have to react to it. Which is very possible. I'd have to use, like, the flash as a visual compartment and be like... Oh, he flashed. Alright, let me grab him. But I'd have to, like, solely look for jump. Yeah. And the fucked up part about this is, let me see. Is it on 3-frame? Wake up jab? Nope. Hold on. Alright. So you get a setup after that. You don't on the regular one, because it's like only +8 or something like that. But not bad. I'll take it. She's so cheap. Mad good, yo. Yeah, the Alpha Light, it's so much harder to do it. I have to be more on point. At least with jab, I'm +2. And I'm a little bit further back. I don't have to walk back as far out of the ring. Damn, that was mad cheap. I wish that combo, that would be so cheap. EX dive kick after doing the H combo, see if you can DP once you're in. Wait, what? What H combo? What are you talking about? Mike, thank you for following. Elias, I need you to be as clear as possible right now because you are confusing the fuck out of me. You know what I want to start doing? I want to start doing this. Where is it? What is it? What the fuck is it? Oh. Oh, is that negative? She doesn't have any 0 on block moves. That's weird. This is weird. That's mad weird. Huh. Oh, there you go. Okay, that works. That definitely is supposed to air juggle. Damn, that did mad damage. What's up, Billy? You did stand medium punch into EX instead of grabbing her in the air when she did the jump OS. Do EX dash and see if you can DP out of the air. Oh yeah, Search, you can do that. Oops. The thing is, I try to like. Oops. I'm trying to figure out a timing. Because I'm trying to hit it so it's like all of the hits hit. But which isn't bad. It's abusable against, you know. Yeah, that's fucking pretty. It's pretty solid. Alrighty, let me see. Let me see. Zenoid99, thank you for joining. Alright, cool. So I guess I'll just start the lesson now. Yeah, I really think she's the best character in the game. People think I'm bugging, but that's just honest. I think she's amazing. I gotta grab my notes. My handy dandy notebook. Ah! Cool. You guys good to go? I don't know if you guys gotta use your bathroom. I don't know if you guys have to eat some breakfast, make love to your wife. I'm totally reasonable. Yeah, I saw it, dog. You the man, bro. You be, yo, man, you my dog. All right, guys. You ready to tango? Yeah, her health is, I mean, obviously, if she had any more health, she'd be broken. Like, wow, imagine her with 1,000 health. That'd be stupid. She can't have any more than 900. She's too versatile. She can do too much things, man. Tango like mangoes. Oh my god, let's get it in. Damn, this song's actually kind of dope. All right, ready? So guys, welcome to my stream experience. Cue guitar solo, lightning strikes, confetti, fireworks. All of that I don't have yet, but it's okay. Thank you guys for joining me. I am your host, Zaffarino. Call me Zaf for short. You know, it's been a while. It's been a good amount of time since I've streamed. I have my own PC now. I have my own equipment, as you can see by this floating device above my head. I have a much bigger room, so you know, it was all conveniently timed. I don't know, the universe was just like, bam, Zach, bam, bam, give you this, give you that, you know. So I'm pretty excited. It's been a while, so you know, I'm just trying to get back into the swing of things, how I could contribute to the community, and et cetera, et cetera. And this inadvertently, well, not really inadvertently, it's pretty directly, it helps me become a better player because I'm reinforcing things that I've learned from the past, or I have to come up with new solutions to things that, you know, are problematic instead of me being lazy and just avoiding it, trying to play around the fact. by me having this stream, it's kind of just forces me to be a high quality leader like I know I can be, right? So basically, if you're new to this series, if you weren't around previously, what I basically do is I will take concepts of Street Fighter. Let's say I had streams about walking forward, the importance of walking forward, right? Little tangibles like that people will overlook. Frame traps, what exactly a frame trap is, how to come up with setups, defense, adaptation, all these like concepts that people like really truly want to understand, but they don't have access to a community, or maybe some people, they go to school, they don't have time for that, they just want to watch and learn from the comfort of their home. I totally understand that. So that's what my stream is about. My stream is basically an experience that I try to provide to people that I know and care about. Because I made some great friends that have changed my life through this. So this is kind of my way of giving back. And again, of course, it makes me a stronger player. So it's a win-win situation, right? You're winning, I'm winning. All right, cool. Money in the bank word. So yeah, you guys follow? You guys follow? You guys understand? All right, cool. Wait, what? What do you mean? Why are you guys laughing? I'm being all serious. Man, fuck you guys. All right. Okay, so unless you guys are laughing about what I said earlier, regardless, that's just not cool. Don't laugh at me. I'm your friend. All right. So, if you guys want a little bit of a background check on who I am, I'm Zaffarino, right? Cool. So if you guys have known me from before, I'm a washed up Street Fighter 4 scrub, right? I'm not great at this game yet. I'm trying. I'm learning. Getting rid of the old, adding new, and just absorbing what's useful. Like my dad, Bruce Lee, said. I used to play Fei Long, and it's been a rough transition because the game isn't as fundamentally. There are different things you got to learn to incorporate in this game. You can react in this game, but because of the design of the engine, there are parameters. It's basically geared towards specific playstyles, and the playstyle that I have to learn to be great at this game is completely left field of what I was in Street Fighter 4. So Street Fighter 4, I was a reactionary-based player. I was basically a walking wall, right? But in this game, it's designed to be more aggressive, and the way that they established that was by making it harder for you to react, because reactionary gameplay is slow down gameplay. It's basically defensive, right? I was a more offensive reactionary player where I would move forward and react, but in this game, it's kind of hard to do that, especially because of the input delay. But the main villain is actually the hitbox-hurtbox interactions in this game. A lot of the normals in this game, medium attacks specifically, they have retracting hurtboxes. So it's very difficult to with punish consistently on, raw. Meaning, if I'm not looking for a button, but then you press the button and I see it, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to whiff punish that. That's basically what it is. In Street Fighter 4, you could see a medium kick from Ryu, but not really look for it and whiff punish it, But of course, as the player gets more skillful, they're gonna hide it a lot better. So it's gonna be more surprising when they do it. They're gonna do it in different rhythms and in different parts of a match, different situations. They'll press this one button 10,000 different ways, right? So it's a lot harder. You have to be more adept at identifying where this person is gonna place this normal. All right. So in Street Fighter 4. I played Fade. That was my thing, right? And I played Chun. I played Chun for Yang because I hated Shine's Yang. Yang used to stress me out. I swear. You see my hairline? My hairline's not pushing back, but that 0.1 inch that's pushing back, it's because of Shine. So, I was like, what? Let me play Chun-Li, man, because this character just destroys Fei. This is annoying, right? There are certain points where I'm just like, I'm going to play this character, and no matter what, and I'm going to learn, right? Example. Elena. Everybody's like, Elena beats Fei. Oh, God. Blah, blah. Me, I was like, no. I don't think so. I'm going to ride this out. And, she may have beat him, but I don't think it was impossible. It was just I had to play, really great. But that was an ill challenge for me. I like challenges. I don't want to do mundane shit. I don't want to do things that everybody else can do. You know what I'm saying? Go with the routine. Go with the... Nah. Hell no. So I would challenge myself. And I played Fei, Elena, and I beat Chris G's Elena. I remember that. That was pretty cool. And that was when I went to NLBC, and I was pretty proud of that because I was like, wow, this is a matchup everybody's like, this is impossible. I could close my eyes and beat Fei Long with Elena, but, I beat a top player who played Elena, But, that's about me, you know what I'm saying? So in Street Fighter 5, transition's been a little different because, obviously there hasn't been a certain somebody, and I don't want to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Because if I talk about it, I'm gonna get emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't even want him to know. Like, you know, I don't even play like a character that's like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine what Fei Long would think if you. Oh God. Listen, okay, I understand. I wanted it to be like. Listen, okay. Faye, it's not what you think, man. I'm telling you, like, I really wanted to play with you, man. Like, trust me. But it's Capcom just wouldn't let it be, man. Why you gotta look at me like that? Listen, I didn't want to play. She can't even wreck it outside of V Trigger. You think I want to play that? I understand. It's six long years, man. I get it. I get it. You get me. I love you. You're the greatest. Come back. So, anyways, you know, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, damn, this is rough. So I started with Karen, and it was kind of rough because she played too similar to Fei without being Fei Long. So it was kind of a strange transition, especially with the engine of the game. So I was playing Street Fighter 4 in 5 and trying to play Fei Long with Karen. It wasn't a good combination of the two. So I eventually left like a couple months into the game, and left Karen per se, and I tried other characters. I was like, all right, let me try some other shit, right? Let me try Vega. I tried Chun, and it still wasn't like, cause my foundation, I was still trying to play the same way. So I was like, yo, I gotta really force myself out of my comfort zone. What could I do? I don't know. So, you know, eventually, somebody recommended, yo, play Cammy, and I was like, okay. Lucky D was actually one of the first people to tell me that. He's like, you should play Cammy because she has a really good low floor. She's hit confirmed. She's kind of like Faye. And I was like, I could kind of see that, you know. But I still kind of disregarded it because I was like, that doesn't seem right. That's so left field. But then I sat on it, thought about it, and I was like, yo, you know what? This could actually be valid. Like, she's completely outside of my comfort zone. Now I can learn different aspects of Street Fighter. Like, Faye was like a moving wall or a stationary wall, right? But, you know, oh, who just followed me? I don't even know who followed me, but thank you for following me. So, what was I saying? I don't even remember. Oh, what's going on, Mac? Hey, that's my dog right there. Okay, so, yeah, I started with Karen originally, and then I, eventually just left, because she didn't have the anti-air. She just wasn't Faye. She couldn't control the ground like Faye and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so then when I went to Cammy, right? Cammy was pretty cool. She's like a fucking mosquito, right? Well, she's like a bee, literally. She's mad annoying and blah, 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 blah. So I picked her up, and, you know, she taught me how to move, how to just not be stationary, and that's basically the design of the game, right? Like, if you saw Season 1 how Infiltration and Knuckle Duo winning, they would use all of the screen to move. They would just move into a particular range in multiple ways, and it was just so confusing, you know. And then people would literally take damage because they would just overcommit, or they just make a mistake, and boom, now they're eating crazy damage, getting in on Infiltration, or they've now given Knuckle Duo the opportunity to just Mika them, you know, for the rest of the match. So, Cammy's doing pretty well for me in that regard. I'm learning so much more about the game. I'm just learning about movement, how to play fast on the inside. You know, how I could play Fei Long slow pace leading up to that. It's just really cool, man. So I'm enjoying the game a lot more now. I still don't like it as much as Street Fighter 4, to be honest, but I like playing this game at high level. It's fun at high level. That's for sure. I can definitely say that much. So yeah, it's basically update with me. You know, basically computer, playing Cammy. Fei Long was mad at me, you know, but everything's pretty sweet. No complaints. So today, thank you guys for everybody joining. I don't know exactly who is in here because Twitch is kind of weird with this new system, but I appreciate all of you guys. When are we playing Zaf? I myself. We need to practice. We can play tomorrow night or tomorrow morning or tonight. Either way, I'm gonna stream tomorrow morning, so I have to do tournament analysis. Probably on I don't know. I'll probably do a straw poll or something like that. So yeah, today I'm doing how to master a character. Whee! I took these notes. You know what I'm saying? Handy dandy notes. So we're gonna tackle this together. So, mastering a character 101 with your boy. With your boy right here. You know what I'm saying? So you know, last night I was up and I was like, damn, I have no idea how you know, what am I gonna talk about? I haven't talked to these guys in like God knows how long. What are these guys gonna be interested in? I was like, what topics? So I went through my notes from the past and I was like, all right, let me see if I could like kind of cook something up. You know, and then I was just sitting there and I was like, okay, nah, I don't know. I just kept going back and forth, and then all of a sudden, and I was like, wow, you know, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk about how to master a character because I think that's what everybody wants, right? Everybody wants to understand their character, especially in a game like this. Everything's so simple, but you know, simplicity doesn't necessarily equate to an easier path to mastery, especially in a game like this, right? So, how to master a character. Step 1. This is what we're going to do, guys. Alright, so let me see. Do I want to full screen? Alright, this is what we're going to do. So check this out. What is mastery? So if you look at Google, like I did, like a smart guy, I looked at Google, and Google told me this. Mastery is comprehensive knowledge or skill in a subject or accomplishment. So comprehensive meaning it's not necessarily all, not entirely. It's just, you know, a majority or all of aspects of some or parts of something that you have great understanding of. So a lot of people think mastery is, you know, fucking let me be perfect. You don't necessarily need to be perfect. To be a master at something. That's something that I had misconstrued for years and years, right? So you don't have to do that. You just gotta be good enough in the right amount of situations. So I'll give you a prime example of this, right? You don't even have to be the best with your character. Example, NuckleDu. NuckleDu, arguably best Street Fighter player in the world right now, right? But he's not the best with his characters, but he's the best, you see? So you don't have to go about it like you have to know all of the situations entirely with your character and always be the best with the tech and apply everything and blah, 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 blah. Because that's not necessary. Look at Fudo. Fudo was definitely the best Mika, but he didn't win. He hasn't won a premier event, you see? But he is pretty much regarded as the best Mika. So, but they're two masters, you see what I'm saying? So in knowing that, it could kind of alleviate a lot of like self-imposed stress that you put on yourself thinking that you have to always do everything right and yada yada yada. You just gotta do the right things right. That's all. So that's a lesson for myself because perfectionist AF over here. You know. So essentially, you know, if you're gonna be a master with your character, you're gonna want to have a grasp on the character's capabilities. That's their design, right? And their pros and cons. And basically, in order for you to do this, you're going to want to investigate the engine of the game first, because the engine is basically going to give you parameters. It's going to give you your boundaries that your character can operate inside of. So we look at this game, right? So we look at Street Fighter, and we are like, oh, hold on, let me just play some beats. I don't know why I don't have no beats playing. Okay, so let's say this, right? So we're looking at Street Fighter. We obviously have the meter. You see where I'm kicking my my foot with Cammy. You have super meter, where right between Cammy's leg is the V trigger meter. Above my head where I'm jumping is the health meter, and when I walk a little bit forward, here's the stun that she's, you know, right up under the health bar that she's touching with her head, that she's slam dunking through the hoop with her big forehead. All right, cool. So you have those 4 bars, right? So those bars basically tell you a story, and your character is going to, you know, essentially be based off of that. Not as fresh as 13. Oh, I was about to say 15 is not the coolest color. This is definitely the best color. So in terms of the engine, what you want to figure out is, well, all right, what is the engine? Well, you have V trigger and you have V skill, right? So V skill obviously being the medium buttons pressed together, and the V trigger being the heavies pressed together. And they obviously, as people know, give you powered up versions, the V trigger, of your character. It gives you some sort of Super Saiyan boost, right? Some X Factor shit. It's basically what's happening because everybody's just swinging this and doing this at the same time, right? So, Cammy, I'll use Cammy as an example because I have the most understanding with her. like out of all my characters, it's with her. I'm not saying I understand her the most. I'm just saying with all of my characters, she's the one I understand the most, in my opinion. Some people think I understand Karen the best, or I play with Karen the best. I don't know about that. But all right, you guys are with me. Cool. So if we're gonna start with understanding the character, we basically want to break her down. You know, what is she in the game? No opinions, none of that shit, right? Because once you have an opinion, you kind of skew what the character is. You're supposed to just observe without any biases and just see the character for what it is. That's how you're gonna get the clearest answer as far as your direction with the character, right? So we look at her health. So if I were to look at her health, let's start with the meters, right? Actually, I'll save that one. That's not next. The next thing is, so we talked about the engine. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay, cool. So when you look at the character inside of the engine of the game, it will basically identify or lead you in the direction of what the character is supposed to accomplish. So essentially their objective, right? Because it's not a goal, because a goal is very broad. I've stressed this before. A goal is very broad. It's everybody has the same goal in this game, which is to win. It's either to knock your opponent's health down to 0 before they knock yours down to 0, or you have more health than them when the clock hits 0, right? That's it. That's a goal. That can be accomplished so many ways. It doesn't give you direction. It doesn't give you consistency. So when you don't have a step-by-step process, or if you don't have your eyes locked in on something you're trying to accomplish, then you're basically going to be inconsistent as fuck. That's what happened to me, because I didn't like the game, so I didn't really care about the strategic aspects of the game or about the character. So I was just kind of like shooting in the dark when I would play. I'd just be like pew 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 pew, pew, right? And then I just wasn't getting consistent results because of that. So so let's see. So if we're gonna identify the objective, this is how we're gonna go about it, right? So basically, with a lot of players, you have your players that focus more on the strategic aspects, and then you have the players like me who aren't disciplined, and we kind of focus on the creative, like expression side. You know, that would be like a Sako. You know, like they're just all about creativity and creation and applying it, right? But you can't really have one without the other. In order to be a top player, you have to be able to do both. You have to be able to play with instinct and play by the books. You know what I'm saying? Just throw caution to the wind and just do something that's just illogical, or maintain consistency and play by the books, play with risk reward, and play with this and this and that. You see what I'm saying? So, example, if I were to study too much strategic aspects of the game without the creativity side, what are the repercussions? The repercussions are, I now look like every other Cammy player. I'm doing everything by the book. This situation, I always do this, like, because theoretically it just makes sense, right? And now you become predictable, and now the top players pick you apart because they're like, oh, I've seen this before. This is everything that I know is by the book, and now I'm gonna apply the by the book counter, And then if you continue to play strategically speaking, like that, and you're like, oh, he's countering my strategies, let me counter the counter. They already know what the counter is because they know you're playing by the book, so they already have it ready and there to prepared to stop you, right? But the flip side of the coin, let's say you play strictly off of creativity. I said this earlier, you don't have consistency, and now when you're in situations, you're throwing out risk reward, you're not really taking into account the variables that are going on around you. You're just kind of doing things on a whim just because you feel like it. And that's what ends up causing you to say, like, you have a crazy life lead, and then you just DP because you're just like, whatever, I just, and then you end up getting sent home, and you're like, oh, how the hell did I lose that? That made no sense. I was up. Why didn't I invest this bar? Why didn't I do this move? Why, asking a bunch of questions. You don't want to live with regret, of course, right? But you need both. You definitely need both. You need that duality. You need to be able to combine both realms of, approaches, and then you'll be a complete integrated player. So example, look at NuckleDu. NuckleDu could play strategically by the book Guile, but then he can play Rushdown Guile. He can play a Footsies Guile. It's like, wow, this is so strange, but it's enough to get him out of those situations where somebody has a grip or a grasp on what he's trying to accomplish, because now he can just flip the script, and now you're like, whoa, what's going on? This is kind of left field, right? Okay. You guys follow what I'm saying so far? Does this make sense? I just want to know before I continue on. Yeah, go ahead. Elliot, just hurry up. Don't write a Martin Luther King speech. With duality and consistency, I feel like they have to work together. Because someone can play textbook, but at the highest level. As you say, once a counter is figured out, they tend to fall off until they find a counter. So it comes very back and forth. Yeah. This is true. Was that the end of your statement? If someone is creative and manages to switch it up like do. Ugh. Come on, Elias, hurry up. It's taking 10 years. Most players do a false sense of enlightenment. Okay, so it sounds like you're basically agreeing with what I'm saying. I thought you were gonna say like, no, Zaf, you imbecile, and then slap me with a glove and be like, listen here, that's incorrect. But anyways, thanks for adding that insight though. I appreciate it. So to continue, so now we understand we understand that you know, you have objective, right? So this is really awesome because I think for a lot of us, me included, this what I'm gonna go into now will really help us with speeding up. I don't want to say process, but just the journey of understanding our character. Because I don't want to say it's a process. It's not by the book. It shouldn't be you know, gradual, like technical. We're gonna do this every single thing. No, because sometimes there are gonna be things that come out of the left field. You see another player do, and you're like, wow, I gotta explore that, you know. But it's more of a journey. It can lead you on so many different paths, you know. So, oh snap! I didn't change that. Oh fuck! Oh god! See, I didn't even know. I'm salty. I didn't change that. Oh. Yo, that's crazy. No wonder. I was like, yo, what's going on? Damn. I'm such a scrub. Alright, back to my dashboard. Okay. Damn, Pete. Thanks for that assist, yo. I didn't even know. I feel like such a noob. Anyways. So. Pick a scene and come back. Yeah, I just changed it right now. It should be good now. Damn, Pete, yo, Elias was talking mad shit. He said, yo, your Photoshop game is ass. He said, 9-1 matchup. He said, I body you, Toronto all day. What's up, West Side, even though it's East Side. Damn. Okay, so back on track. So now we have our objectives, right? Cool. Yay! So now we know, in order to find our objective, we're gonna have direction. We're gonna be like, well, we have to explore this character. So how do we go about that? I have some recommendations. You guys can try this out for yourself, and you know, you give me some feedback. You let me know how it goes. Bada bing, bada boom. Hey, Bob Ross. It's a pretty cool emote. Alright, so the first thing I like to do in my opinion, is to discover the archetype of the character, right? Because once you figure out the archetype, you've now created direction. Again, direction isn't limiting. It's just, you know, it's so that you are in a better place than you were previously, right? So archetype. So how do we go about uncovering or identifying the archetype of a character? Well, I do it is I start with, if I take a character I've never played before, I'll look at their movement. So we'll start with walking forward first. We see Cammy has a really fast walk speed. It's really fast. So when a character has a really fast walk speed, that means that they can engage into a range a lot easier or faster than another character who has a slower walk speed. So let's say I want to get into low forward range, right? Oh, Street Fighter, please. Oh my god, what is this? Okay, right? So if somebody manages to push me away, I would walk up. And it's very hard for them to walk backwards. So let's say we'll do this, record. I'll just have Karen walk backwards. What the hell? Did I not just record this? Alright, there you go. Just hold back for a couple more seconds. Alright, cool. So you see how easy it is for her to just chase her down? Right? It's like Kevin Hart. It's like, what you doing, where you going? What you doing, where you going? Right? So now I can just get into ranges a lot easier because I have this. Right? So that's why walk speeds are pretty important going forward. So now you know, oh, so Cammy can engage really easily. Okay, so what's the opposite of engagement? How does she disengage? How does she get away from the spacing? Okay, so let's test that. So what we'll do is we'll put it on the flip side, right? And so we'll have Karen backdash just to indicate it. And her walk speed, her back walk speed is pretty solid. Like, it's, like you see, like she can kind of run away a little bit. You know, her walk speed's that good, so she'll be able to really manipulate spacings and be really tricky. Mind you, her buttons are really godlike, and she can run off them really easily, right? I mean, Karen eventually catches up, but Cammy's back walk speed being so godlike, she can just walk out of the ranges that Karen is most effective. So now we have two clues to this character's direction. Now we know she has a great walk forward speed, a great walk back speed. So that means in terms of spacing on the ground, she should basically be able to move in and out of ranges at will, right? The only thing that's really gonna stop her are gonna be your opponent's buttons, the specials. But it's very difficult when you have a character with a fast walk speed because they'll be able to walk into ranges and poke you a lot more quickly than you might anticipate. You know, especially when they have a good dash, right? So that's the next thing. Now we look at dashes. So we go to center stage. So we look at her dash. I like to measure the dash. Well, the thing about dashes, what I like to do is I like to look at the properties of them. So we're gonna talk about the properties of everything. So her dash forward is 16 frames, right? So that's pretty fast. That's like I think that's probably like second fastest in the game. I think 15 is Chun's, right? So hers is 16 frames, and the dash is a pretty good range, right? If we were to look at the squares, the way I used to measure this in Street Fighter 4, where you look at the thick black lines, right? You see where Cammy's front toe is? Actually, let me walk forward a little bit so you can see where her front foot is, right there, that thick black line. And the next thick black line right there where her front foot is. You can't see it because the meter's in the way, but it's touching it. In between that are 10 small squares. If you look closely between, there's a thick gray line that shows, that's right in the middle of the 10 total squares. That shows that there are 5 squares on this side and another 5 on this side. So it's 10 in total. So for each square, I like to use as a measurement tool, right? So whenever I like write down something, or, you know, let's say if I look at my notes, right? Let me see if I can show you guys. I were to, let me screenshot this. Let me see. Give me a second. Screen capture, window capture. All right, cool. So let's say these are some of my notes, right? So if I were to look at Karen's stand medium kick, I have the frame data, 7 frames, startup, 3 active, 15 recovery, plus 2 on hit. It used to be 0 on block, but you know now it's -2, so I gotta switch that. So this was season 1 notes when I was playing her. But the range is, it's 0.7 squares. You see this? I'm gonna bold this and make it size 48 for you motherfuckers. All right, cool. So you see how it says 0.7 squares, and on 0.8 it whiffs. So if I were to, right? If I were to take Karen and record, let me see. Where her front foot is, it should whiff right here. So that's exactly 8 because it's 2 squares in. If I walk forward, I'll get hit. See? So on 7.7 it hits, but on 0.8 squares it whiffs. So this is how you can figure out your, you know, your measurements of your buttons and stuff like that. In tournament, training mode is banned. I mean, training stage is banned, so you can't use it. You can't play it. But the thing is, when you play it enough, if you practice this enough and you take it to other stages, it doesn't really matter. You'll just know your spacing based off of the distance between the two characters. But some characters, their front foot doesn't necessarily equate to where they are hittable. Some characters, their hitbox is a little further back, you know. And then also when you crouch, you're a little fatter, for the people that didn't know that. So it's easier to hit you when you crouch. So in footsies, it's a good idea to just try not to crouch and try not to block, because if you block, you're now giving people meter, right? You're giving people meter, you're giving them pushback, you're giving them advantage at times, depending on the normal. And you don't want to give them any of that, right? Jesus. But, so there's that. So, yeah, with dashes, basically, I just showed you how to measure it. So her dash is pretty good. It's pretty godlike. It's about like 1.5-ish. 1.5-ish. 1.5, 1.6 total. That's pretty good. So she can dash into ranges, you know, from pretty far, right? So when she's playing like a fireball character, if she can establish the threat of jumping, if she can establish the threat of jumping, and some characters hesitate to throw fireball, when she's out here and she does something like that, fireball characters are gonna be like, okay, let me not do this. But because she has a dash, she can now cover ground, and now she's in a more effective range. See, so that's like another reason why dashes are really important. Dashes are also important because if I knock you down, you know, how close can I get to you when I do, in combination with my specials and stuff like that. Spergendi, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a while. How's everything going? So if I do knock you down with, like, spiral arrow, right? If she had a short dash and somebody back rolled, then it would be like, well, damn, how am I gonna, maintain positioning? How do I maintain that effective, aggressive spacing on this character? So this is why a dash would be really important. So it's like for offensive purposes or for measuring, getting into spacings, whatever. So now we go on the flip side of things. We go to backdashes. So if I look at backdash, my backdash is again kind of like the opposite of the engagement. So I'm going to disengage. So how can I get away from this character? Well, Cammy has, I think, the best backdash in the game. It's really fast. Recovery is so quick. Look at that. That's how quickly I crouched. So in order for you to punish her backdash, you'd have to really, commit. You'd have to be like, all right, I think she's going to backdash, and this is that. To react and try to punish it is very unlikely because of the delay in the game, the startup of a lot of moves, and yada, 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 right? And then obviously a lot of specials in this game aren't safe on block. So if you try to commit and punish this, you just might be shit out of luck. All right, so we go with that. Next thing, movement. So the big three of movement are walking, dashing in both directions, right? And jumping. So jumping is big because this will basically tell you, right, how she'll be able to engage in the air. So Cammy you know, any character for this matter, if a character can move in the air or change their trajectory, they're already dangerous in this game. That's pretty much like a fact. But how dangerous is going to be based off of what their jump can do, and you know, the amount of variety they have in their approach in the air. So, example, Cammy has a pretty fast. It's not too floaty of a jump. It's relatively, I think it's kind of short. It's not too far, you know. It's not like a Bison or anything like that. I think Geef might have the longest jump range in the game, maybe, or something like that. But it's not floaty like a Dhalsim either. So if we're playing an intense game of footsies and we're both like, oh, all right, I got you, woo, right? But then all of a sudden I jump. The faster my jump is, you know, in terms of leaving the ground and getting towards my opponent's character, it's better for me because they're more likely to not anti-air because they're like, oh shit, she's jumping at me. Ah! Right? So that's something to look into. So we have that, and then also when you look at your jump ranges, you want to see like, well, where can I cross up? Because the further you are, the further away you can be and cross up, that's really deadly for your opponent because, you know, if they're not expecting you to cross up at like a ridiculous range. Say like that was really tricky. And this is good too because, you know, when you look at the character's air mobility, it's already difficult to anti-air in this game. So when you have a character like Cammy who can she can change her trajectory right away, right, with like empty dive kicks. That's already gonna take away a lot of confidence that your opponent has in their anti-air game. Or maybe not their confidence, because they can still be like really resolved and like, you know, I believe in myself. But the difference now is gonna be like they have to kind of second guess themselves. Let's say if, you know, somebody thinks I'm gonna jump in on them, right, with Cammy's dive kick. But the thing is, instead I move back slightly, just enough so that they don't notice. Right, so let's say, let me go in the corner. Right here at this thick black line, right? All right. But instead, let's say I move back a little bit, just enough so they don't notice. And I'm like, and now their DP goes flying above me and I get a crush counter. So that's why it's important to see your jump arcs, your jump, you know, all that jazzy stuff. So we went with walking forward, walking backwards. We've seen the dashing forward, we've seen the dashing backwards. So we see Cammy she has so many ways to maintain and engage in a range, like create a range that she wants pretty much at any time she wants, right? And we looked at her jump-ins. So we know her jump-ins are going to be really huge and crucial in her gameplay because she can change her jump arc, you know? And we're not even getting into the specials because she has Hooligan, which I didn't do yet. We're just doing this off of, you know, of what she can do in the air, right? Alright. So, identify health. Okay, cool. So we started with the movement. So we have this idea. Cammy plays really fast. She's really fast. She can engage in the ranges. All right, that's nice. So what's the next thing? Let's go into specials. So the reason why we'll go into specials is because, well, specials will help you build meter. They're really important. You know, specials are a really important tool set for establishing some sort of dominance or imposing something. Whatever you're trying to accomplish. Again, we're trying to figure out what is her objective. Like, what is she best at, right? So we look at her specials. We see she has Spiral Arrow. And when we get down into the nitty-gritty and we look at, let's say, frame data, right? So, Street Fighter, Cammy, all right. Cool. Let me see. Huh, this doesn't work on, that's weird. Huh. I guess not. For some reason, Tool Assistant's website's not showing up. Might be something to do with the coding. I have no idea. But what you could do is you could just go on Google and you can literally just research Street Fighter frame data. And basically what that will do is that will show you your startup, your active frames, your recovery frames. All that stuff I can get into on another stream. This is just for the players that already are past that intermediate stage, the beginner stage, right? So we'll look at the properties of the specials. So what we'll do is we look at the speed of the specials, right? The ranges, like, you see how far she can land one of these bad boys, right? So now it shows us that, well, she can attack from a lot of ranges. The risk reward might change, but it's good to know that she still has the option, like EX spiral arrow, right? So we look at that, we look at the speed, look at the recovery. Are they safe? Because that'll tell you a lot in terms of risk reward. What is she most likely to get away with? You see, this is giving us a direction. Again, I keep going back to this. I stress this because this is important. This is really important. It's the direction with the character. So then we look at the other specials. So she has a DP, which means, okay, she has a get off of me move, right? But the thing is, obviously in season 2, she needs bar. So that's important. That's another thing. That's another parameter. I mean, you can technically DP with the other buttons. It's just less likely to work if the opponent's character is they're really understanding of their tool set and they're on their shit in terms of frame traps and meaties and stuff like that. Because if they time that perfectly, then you'll get hit counter hit. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right. So we look at our specials. We see Spiral Arrow, really long horizontal move. So this move is really good for covering this ground. You can catch people off guard if they walk forward. You can look at the properties of the EX version, which is really important, looking at the EX version of moves. What does the EX property do? Well, this is projectile invincible. So if somebody used to throw a fireball and I would know my spacing, then I'd say, okay, well, at this range is where I'm having the easiest time of reacting to fireball because I have more room for the fireball to actually come at me. So that means I have a bigger window to buffer, so I can just buffer it like this, right? So I'm gonna turn on my inputs, right? So you can just see me like, when you see that, at this range, if I see fireball, I would just go right through it. So there's that. So then we see the direction we've already talked about, how it's a horizontal lunging attack. So cover anything in front of her. And then another thing you'd have to investigate too at some point would be the hitbox hurtbox interactions. So you'd want to see like how far does the hitbox stand out in front of the hurtbox, because that's important because it shows you how much more likely somebody is to actually get hit by your button or by your special, even if they're trying to press one of their own. So the next special we look at is dive kick. So we talked about this with air mobility, right? So this is pretty good. And we see we have an EX version. So powered up, right? You see how fast it is. We talked about speed, which is really important, especially in a game like this where reactions are a lot more, you have to be a lot more disciplined with what you're reacting to. You got to kind of look for it. You can't, it's just really hard to just raw react to things in this game. By design, by nature of the engine, right? So we see, okay, this is going to be a really good engagement tool because you see how far I can use it to get in and I can convert off of it. So this is now a thing that you take into account with the direction of your character again, right? And knowing your frame data would be important because then you'd want to see, well, what about advantage? Would I be at advantage? Would I actually be plus if I had this move, landing at a specific part of the character? Because remember, with dive kicks, the lower you hit, the more at advantage you are. So you do want to hit like right there at their toes, right? So, something like that. And you could test it by setting the dummy to guard all, right? That was a true block strength. And you could do the same with the regular ones. But the thing is, she got nerfed on her medium dive kick, so you want to use the light or heavy. Ooh. So yeah, you can test that by having them press their fastest button. I usually test this on 3-frame characters with 3-frame jabs because if it works on them, it works on everybody else, obviously. But of course, if they have an invincible attack, they can just mash their shit on you, and then you get hit, and now you're just flustered. So you have to take that into account. But anyways, back to the subject. So we talked about the properties, and then of course you want to look at the other specials like Hooligan and stuff like that, right? So you take this, basically this like this blueprint, you can apply it to your own character. So let's say if I was playing Laura, we look at her fireball. Her fireball is weird in the fact that it doesn't travel full screen unless you do EX. So in knowing that, you're like, all right, so in the situations that I want my fireball to travel full screen, I would invest bar. So what about the moments when I don't have bar? Why would I want a fireball? Well, if it doesn't move that far and it stops right in front of my face, that means I kind of want to be closer, right? Because there's no threat to the opponent if they know it's going to dissipate way before it even touches them. So that means I want to be closer to them. So then when you get closer, you're like, all right, so what can I get? What can I do with this as I'm closer? That's when you look at frame advantage. That's when you look at all these things and you're like, oh, so this is what the objective of the character. It's going to lie within this part of the tool set. You see? So Cammy's dive kicks, you're like, okay, she can engage. We already know she has great walk speed. She has all these things. So why does she have all these things? And then we take into account her health, right? Which is going to be the next thing. Are the meters? Yes, the meters. So we look at the meters of the character. We look at the health is what I like to start with. 900 health for Cammy. So that means she is not going to be able to dish out too much and take back just as much, you know, because she has 900 health. So most characters in the game have 1,000 and up. So she will die a lot faster than a lot of characters. 100 health is a big difference because that is basically a fierce. That's literally this. Well, that and what? That and that? Let me see. Yeah, so that and that. That's 100 health. That's a lot. It makes all the difference in the world. You see a lot of combos in the game where the character's like just barely alive, right? So imagine if everybody had 900 health and Karen does combo into super. Everybody would just be dead, pretty much. Just blinking at them, right? So we look at her health. She has 900 health, 900 stun. So same concept in terms of stun. It's not really gonna want to absorb too much. You know what I'm saying? On that end, at least. Because it will suck, right? Suck for her especially. So you know it's gonna make you second guess those times where you want to press, where you want to DP because of the crush counter system, and you know a lot of that's really inflicting and damaging on a character like Cammy. So it's just things to take into account. And the next big factor are her V meter. So she has 2, as you can see there. So when somebody has 2, it means that they're going to be able to get their V-Trigger a lot faster than a character that has 3. Characters that have 3 would be Ibuki, Guile, and the next update is going to have 3. I think Zangief has... I'm pretty sure Zangief has 3. Birdie has 3. Yeah, so a lot of those characters, you know, that have 3, it takes them longer to get it. But they usually end up having some sort of, like, compensation on their end when they activate. Like, Necalli, I think, he's a 3-bar V-Trigger, but his is infinite. Birdie's lasts a pretty good amount of time. Zangief's lasts a long time until they use it and deplete it, you know? So in her instance, you know, she has her V meter. And when you look at her V meter, you want to see, well, what does the V reversal do? Because I think this is really important. Well, her V reversal switches sides. So whenever I'm in the corner, anytime I block a heavy attack, I'm switching sides. So it's like this game by design is telling me, Cammy shouldn't be in the corner. Cammy should be at advantage a majority of the time when she's playing, because look at how many tools. She has so many side switching tools, right? Look at that. She has so much things that switch sides, like her V skill. There's just another way of building meter, right? Building her V meter. So you can build your V meter multiple ways. Of course, there's crush counters, right? Which I think everybody should be focused primarily on a neutral. Is how are you going to... You should have kind of like 2 goals, in my opinion. How are you gonna land your crush counters to build the V meter, and whatever the character specific objective is. So you see that she has her V skill and she can go through properties, fireballs, right? So she has an anti-fireball V reversal. It's relatively slow, so that's telling you by design you're gonna have to be more preemptive with it. It's gonna be a lot harder for you to react, per se. It might be possible if you could react to the startup of the fireball, which is something that I know the Japanese train themselves to do, but it's, again, in this game it's harder to do it. In Street Fighter 4 it was easier, because in Street Fighter 4 you had the reaction, you know, aspect of the game, less input delay, but also you could react to the fireball back here. And if you guys didn't know this, in this game, if you take a character with a fireball and have them fireball and press pause frame by frame, like that, you'll see that instead of it being a smooth transition like this, it goes. So what that does is visually that tricks you, because human eyes, right? Your retinas, you're absorbing all of this information, but because the game is leaving gaps in between the animation, your eye's not seeing everything like clearly, right? So by the time you actually see the fireball out, it's already like active. You see, and then by the time you go to respond to it, it's just gonna be a lot more difficult. That's why it's really hard to react with certain moves in this game. So So you have that. So see, by design, a lot of these things that they do, they implement on purpose. So make it really hard for you. My theory being that they wanted the game to be less reactionary, so new players could have a better chance at beating top players. So that would give it the ratings, the esports feel, and all that stuff. But I mean, it was a smart move on their behalf, because look, Street Fighter V is on TV now, But at what expense? I don't know. That's the thing. But so yeah, we looked at that. So that was the meters, and then the most important thing, in my opinion. So we'll go backwards. We started with movement, right, and then we went into specials, and then we went into the meter management. So you have your V trigger, your super, right? Every character has 3-bar super in the game, but not everybody's V meter is the same. Not everybody's stun or health is the same. So those are the 3 that really help distinguish the direction of the character, right? Because if I were to say to you guys, hey guys, I'm talking about a character, right? But I'm not gonna tell you who this is or what archetype they are. But I'm gonna tell you that this character has 1,050 health. They have 1,000 stun. They have really slow walk speed. I don't have to say anything else. What would you say after that? You'd be like, oh, this character is most likely a grappler, right? That's an indicator. But imagine if you actually took that type of thought process into a match. You'd be like, well, this character has this, he has this. All right, so he's most likely trying to accomplish this. So when you know where your opponent's character is trying to accomplish, oh, what's up, Kekura? It makes it a lot easier for you in terms of negating what they're trying to accomplish and establishing what you are trying to accomplish for yourself, right? So it's just something to think about. So the last thing, in my opinion, most important thing, are your normals. So your normals are basically going to be your measuring stick, right? They're going to help you can measure your spacing. It'll help you build meter also, right? So let's see, let me turn off. So this will help you with building meter, right? If you look at Cammy's meter on the left, if they get hit, I'm building meter, right? If they block, I'm building meter. And not only am I getting meter, I'm getting gray damage. As you know, when you hit somebody after getting gray damage, they've now taken all of that gray damage and now the damage from the attack that hit them, which is absurd because a lot of characters in this game, they have like insane amounts of pressure with their medium attacks. It's really hard to escape, and Cammy being one of them. So normals are important. Normals are important not only for that, for the building a meter to help you, because you need meter to establish whatever is the next aspect of your plan, your strategy, right? Because you're trying to develop. You're trying to start of the match. This is what's going on, and we're trying to do this, right? Wait, hold on a second. Anyways, so we're trying to establish this, right? I'm trying to get into the spacing of being outside of Karen's stand medium kick range. Let's see. So you see, this is kind of a wall I have to put up, because if my goal is, well, we're not going to get into that yet, but let's say, I'm trying to maintain a certain spacing, even if that's not the objective, maybe it's just this positioning is the best possible place to be before I actually accomplish my objective, then I'm going to want to use my buttons as Karen to stop Cammy from getting in, right? Because Cammy doesn't, you don't want Cammy to get in, obviously, because Cammy, when she gets in, it's like, oh my god, what's happening to me, right? So when you're looking at normals, spacing, as I showed you guys, you can use these squares for a measuring stick in a way, just so you can accurately assess your maximum range, right? And that's a good way to practice, is just walking up and doing this at max. I used to do this for hours in 4. in the corner, especially if you know your spacing, it's even more deadly because their opponent can't walk backwards, as you see, right? They can only move forward or move out. That's it. They can only really move two directions. Some people will walk backwards because they'll be a lot skinnier when they stand up, so your buttons will whiff and they try to whiff punish. But that's also deadly because let's say if my low forward whiffs, but instead, oh, well, Cammy's low forward's further than her sweep. So let's say I'm trying to sweep and they walk back and I'm like, oh, let me low forward you, right? Oops. What the fuck? Yeah, see? So I'd be like, okay, let me switch to a longer poke to throw you off. That's why it's pretty good to, you know, just understand, like, the flow of a match in your buttons. Like, what is your opponent trying to counter in terms of your buttons? What are they looking for? And then you can switch to a longer poke, or you use their, you know, their focus on a particular normal against them by dashing up and throwing them. Because dashes in this game are really strong, especially if somebody's really asphyxiated on footsies. Because I told you earlier, it's really hard to raw react to things. So if, you know, if you're playing footsies, but if you dash up, it makes it really hard for somebody to just focus on one thing in footsies. So we look at that. And with some normals, which are like command normals, there are properties too that you can look into. Like some have nullifying properties with projectiles. So like Zangief's headbutt. You can headbutt a projectile and it disappears, right? So there's that. Other ones might have like chain combo properties, right? So like that, you can cancel it into another button and you get insane damage off of it. Let's see. So yeah, with your normals, you'd want to look at the reach first, right? That's what I do. Look at the reach first, the spacing, you know, how far can I hit somebody with it, all my buttons, and then the properties, which should be like, you know, do they have nullifying properties? Are they target combos? And in this game, we talked about the engine, so you know what I'm going to talk about next? We're going to talk about... Oh, yeah, she got to stand. This bad boy. So again, this is important because this will help build V-gauge, right? This is why I say footsie should be focused primarily on this, because obviously the damage, you should find as many creative ways to land a crush counter as possible. Even with sweep, a lot of people I think don't use sweep enough, myself included, because you get the hard knockdown, right? And you get crazy setups off of it. Like Cammy, she gets this, right? Let me do an V-trigger. So that's pretty good for conversion off of that. What's up, Black Acid? Thank you for joining, guys. So yeah, I think in footsies it's really important to understand that, and especially with the engine as far as priority system goes. So this is another aspect of the engine we didn't talk about, the priority system. So because, you know, mediums, so let me say, right? Put this on guard all. Jab just came out. I'm gonna do back medium punch, stand short. So this should trade with crouching jab, as you guys see in there, right? And turn off counter. Oops. Or stand light kick, right? But the priority system in the game is, I think it's from Third Strike. Basically what happens is if a button of a greater strength trades or is active at the same frame as another button of a lesser strength, it'll automatically beat it. So now I'm gonna give you an example. So you have stand light kick, right, which is 4 frames on startup, plus 1 on block, and then I'm gonna do back strong, which is 4 frame startup. So what's 1 subtracted from 4? It's 3. So because I'm at advantage, that means my opponent is now 1 frame behind me and being able to respond, no matter what. So I do this, and I've countered him. So this button and this button are the same startup. So it trades there, but it doesn't here. So now you understand, okay, so can I abuse her priority system in footsies? Well, you have stand roundhouse, which is pretty good. You can whiff punish it, but if you throw it out, it's really good against mid-high attacks. So like medium kicks. You know, if somebody's doing buffered jabs, like me, I like to do jab buffers in footsies because if somebody sticks out a mid poke, it's kind of like a Fei Long effect. Oops. All right. But if Karen knows that, then Karen can just whoop. Crush counter, boom. So this is all adding up to the story and direction we were talking about, and I was emphasizing earlier. So we talked about speed, we talked about properties. Oh, we didn't talk about speed, we talked about length. So now we're gonna do angles. So the angle of attack is important, like I just showed you right there with the jabs. So if somebody does a medium poke, I would want to hit them on the recovery of that attack. If somebody's doing a poke like this, then I would want to hit somebody with a poke that would cover that angle also. So let's say see. So obviously this isn't gonna work, but that does. So it's important to just be able to assess the hitbox, hurtbox interactions. It's like a hierarchy system. It's like these attacks that are mid-high, I would want to poke like this. The attacks that are mid-low, I'd want to poke like this, basically. But you see, because you can technically cover both. Yeah, you could cover both with the crouching jab. But then there might be pokes, you know, where somebody just like might overhead on top of your button and stuff like that. So it's good to do this sometimes. Alright, so we talked about that. Okay, so as far as speed is important because the button speed will dictate your ability to recover in a situation and deal with whatever is happening in front of you. So let's say Karen does and jumps in. You see, so I try to whiff punish her short, but she jumped in. Okay. But I was still able to recover and DP. So let's say I sweep though. I mean, sweeps in this game are godlike, right? So there's a lot. The recovery on this is like, but you see right there, I got crossed up. Well, I think I could have blocked that, but I just got crossed up. So if you're using a heavier attack, the recovery is usually a lot longer. Some attacks don't fall for this for some reason. Like Cammy's Fierce is pretty fast. I don't know why. But you see, by me trying to whiff punish with a heavier attack, let's say I just get I try to DP, right? I'm gonna do it in a way where I can try to DP. Okay, I could DP there. Oops. Damn it. Jesus. Well, yeah, Street Fighter 5. That's funny. But yeah, traditionally in other Street Fighter games, it was like, you know, if you whiffed the sweep and somebody jumped in, there was so much recovery that you were going to get fucked up, basically. But in this game, it's good to practice this situation because you still want to be able to anti-air. Of course, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because if you don't have meter, because they removed the invincibility on startup DPs in Season 2, you can just use your bar if you have it, but sometimes that's going to happen too, so you just have to delay it. But yeah, so it's important to know the speed, the recovery of your normals, just for reasons like that. If you're using medium and light pokes, you'll always be able to DP at least, or anti-air. Alright? Especially in the corner, this is really important, because a lot of people are going to try to bait you into pressing a heavier attack. and then try to jump out the corner. This is why it's important to understand their jump arc, because you don't want to be too close, and then your anti-air misses, and then they get a jump in on you at best, or at worst, they get out of the corner, even with the anti-air trade. Now everything you've worked for is kind of thrown out the window. Still body for jumping when you jumped for that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's mad annoying, Mike. It's like, what the fuck, dude? So, speed, angle, properties, length. Oh yeah, I forgot one more thing about properties is your pushback. Pushback is important. Something I forget about a lot is you see the pushback. Obviously, you're getting meter and stuff like that. Remember earlier I said you don't really want to block normals because you're giving them you're giving your opponent meter. You're giving them potentially meter. You're giving them potentially gray health that they can take away from you, right? So you're putting gray health on yourself by blocking things, and you're pushing yourself backwards. So those are things. It's no bueno. You obviously don't want to do that in a game like this. So it's really good to know your spacing. You should be able to stand outside of ranges and stuff like that. What's also important is the pushback, because if I'm pushing you towards the corner. I mean, it seems like it's a baby increment. It's like, all right, it's a little bit, but a little bit goes a long way, especially when you're over here, because now you can't walk backwards. There's a big difference between being able to walk backwards here, because you can make this whiff, and not being able to over here. You see? Now I don't really have to do much. I can just walk a little bit. Right? So pushback is important. You want to take into account, because when you press a poke, you're not gonna be able to press it again immediately right after, because it's gonna whip. If you don't have a stay heavy, you're gonna get punished from that range for that jump. Yeah, that sucks, Elias. Right. So. Alright. So we have that. What else? So yeah, I gotta get down to the nitty gritty. I gotta wrap this up before I head out to work. So let's see. So we have those 4 things. So we're gonna start over again. Just a little. So we have movement, forward, walking backwards, dashing forward, dashing backwards, and jump ins. That's your movement with any character. Zangief, it could be Laura, Balrog, whatever. You take that, you understand. Because it's cool to like watch a character and you know how to do the combos and stuff like that. But if you don't understand what the characters are designed for, when you play in tournament, you're gonna end up making mistakes that you don't need to make because you shouldn't be in those positions in the first place. Right? So we have that, we have movement. And then we have the specials, we understand the specials, the properties, and all that jazz, right? Hooligan, we have DP, then you have obviously the powered up versions, the EX moves, right? And then what else? So we have the health, the meter management. So you have our health, we know she has 900. We have our stun, it's 900. We have our V bar, just 2 bars. And everybody has the same amount of super, so you don't have to really worry about that. Right. And then the last thing were the normals. We talked about the properties, right? If they can be target combos, if they have nullifying properties like Zangief's headbutt, like I mentioned. If crush counter system, we gotta understand what are our crush counters, like Cammy's or stand roundhouse and sweep. Those are our only 2. So when you know that, it makes it a lot easier. Some characters, they have like fucking 3 crush counters. You're like, whoa, this is a lot. Like you have to take into account, Doesn't have to. They can rewatch, doesn't have to. Oh yeah, it's cool, bro. Don't even worry about it. It's gonna be archived. So properties, the length, the reach of the normals, right? You have the command normals also, don't forget about that, which you can use the squares on the ground to measure for. We have our angle of attack. What do they hit? So this is gonna be my anti-air. This is gonna be an anti-air too, but people don't use this enough. I think this is one of the best anti-air buttons in the game, especially because of what you get off of it. If somebody, that's a lot of damage. That's 216 damage. And you can get it pretty consistently too. So we have that. We have our speed, which are the startup, the recovery of the buttons. How fast it can get to my opponent, how slowly it recovers, or how fast rather, will tell me about, especially if you're playing against mobile characters like Cammy. If I'm playing with a mobile character like Cammy, I know she's gonna be jumping a lot, so I'm gonna want to resort to my attacks that recover really quick until I convince her to stay on the ground. You see, this is giving me direction. It's all about direction, guys. It's all about what am I supposed to be accomplishing with my character, right? So now we're basically there, right? So we have all these things. We have oh, and obviously normals up close. That's the last thing. So if you look at all of her buttons, you see what is that advantage. This is plus, this is plus, this is plus, this is plus, this is plus. And you know what's important too is to know, are you in throw range after what buttons. This is the only button. This is stand light kick. Obviously her medium and heavies, she's gonna be out of range. But some characters, they still are in their throw range after a medium button unblocked. So that's important to know. But you know, she can just walk up and do it too. But I have to convince you through frame traps not to press a button. So see, I see that she has a lot of advantage when she gets in. About visual cues first to use the bars. Oh, I never thought about that. So you see that she has a lot of advantage when she gets in. She stays really close to her opponent, which is the scariest part about Cammy. So in knowing that, you see by design, she's not supposed to be away, because unlike most characters, when she presses a button, she's still in a really threatening range. So that tells you, all right, I'm supposed to be inside with Cammy. So if I combine everything that I just learned, and I see by design, I'm supposed to get in, right? And I have really damaging combos when I do hit. So let's say, right, oops. And you have, you know, all the counter hit stuff and right. So you have all these things, and you see like, okay, Cammy's supposed to get in, and when we combine all of these things with the stuff that I talked about earlier, you see that she can get into ranges really easily, and you see how she can really get in and destroy somebody like in a matter of seconds. Like she can really just blitz through people. And then you combine all of these things together, you notice, all right, Cammy is strongest when she's inside, but her, you know, another strength of hers is getting inside, because she's so hard to pin down. She's literally a beast. She's buzz. You're like, yo, how do I stop this thing? Like, just it's nagging the shit out of me. That's basically how you gotta play Cammy. And you notice the best Cammys play like that. So if you look at Xiaohai, you look at Valoran, K-Brad, they just have a plethora of ways of getting in. You know what I'm saying? K-Brad more so, he's the most grounded, I think. Kazunoko is by far the best at movement with Cammy. Definitely. If you ever want to see what I'm talking about, and just take what I talked about today on the stream, watch how he gets in. It's so confusing. He dashes, he'll walk into a range. He'll walk all the way up to you. He'll walk into a range and whiff punish. He'll walk into a range and dive kick on you. He'll fee skill in. He'll walk, pause, dive kick. Like there's so much variety. It's really hard to pin him down. So he uses your pause, like your pauses and delays against you, or he'll use your constant responses against you. You see, and that's how it seems like Kazunoko's always inside and stuff like that. I think that Kaz is the best Cammy, in my opinion. But Xiaohai, like if you could combine the two, like if Xiaohai had his dive kick game, it would be like, whew. But yeah. So let's see. So just to wrap this up, so we'll go into the objectives. Okay. Oh yeah, so your archetype gives you a general set of pros and cons, but that's not necessarily always true. So for example, you'd expect some characters with a lot of health or stun, or who have 1,000 stun or 1,000 health, to be, you know, slow or stuff like that. But look at Laura. Laura's ridiculously fast, right? Look at Balrog. Balrog has great buttons, but he's fast too. So it's like, it doesn't necessarily tell you the entire story. It's just like a basis of, you know, what to investigate next, you know? So there's that. So the last part of this, the last aspect, is about your objective. So your objective essentially puts you in the closest position to winning. I said this at the start of the stream. The goal is not to win, because that's everybody's goal. It's Your objective is where do you want to be that will put you closest to winning. So I know with Cammy, or a majority of the cast, it's the corner, because the corner you can't move back, you can only move forward or jump. Cammy can anti-air, she has really fast recovering buttons, right? And great poke range. So she's gonna be able to lock somebody here. But on top of that, what's scary is that she can move in whenever she wants, as long as she's deceptive about it. If I'm too obvious, I keep dashing all the time. Like if I do button, dash, I'm gonna just, somebody's gonna just buffer a crush counter or a fierce into a V trigger and just kill me, right? Like Karens and stuff like that. So, you know, when I corner somebody, I generally want to see how are they gonna try to crush counter me, or how are they gonna try to escape? Are they gonna try to crush counter me? Are they gonna try to dash and back throw me? Are they gonna try to jump and switch sides? It's basically gonna be one of those three things for the most part, right? Or do they let you hang yourself and make a mistake and punish you? Like, that's essentially what I try to do. So with my objective with Cammy, I know I'm gonna want to be in, right? But I don't necessarily have to be in. I could be right here too, and I can use my mobility against the opponent. That's how Kazunoko, when he played me at Final Round, he beat me. I had him in the corner, and he used my spacing, because we play the same character obviously, so he knows when I want to dive kick, that's when he can dive kick. So he would use my button placements against me, and I was like, damn, this is so good. So I learned a lot from playing him. That dude's a beast. So let's see. So your objective typically is where your tool set is strongest and where your opponent's is weakest, but that's not always the case, or necessarily what you always want to do. So let's say in training, you're trying to become a stronger competitor, you can intentionally put yourself in bad situations, so that way when it does happen inevitably in tournament, you're not caught off guard. You're not like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. This is kind of scary. You'll grow comfortable with the fact, because you've already seen what happens in those type of situations. Gene, thank you for tuning in. Or is it Gene X? I don't know. Whatever. Regardless, you are appreciated, good sir. You're not a silver scrub. You're just almost gold. That's what you are. So, if I know Karen has relatively bad defense, right? Without bar, and she has a 3-frame jab, that's true. I would want to keep things tight, like frame trap wise, right? And then gradually increase my frame traps until I throw her. Or if she's delay tech, like I don't want to figure out, like, is she delay teching? Because if she's delay teching, then I want to increase the gaps of my frame traps. If she's constantly mashing, I'd want to keep like my frame traps really tight, right? So right, I don't want to frame trap with 2-frame frame traps, or 3-frame into a heavier button frame trap, so like this. Because the priority system, I'm taking advantage of the fact. So, objectively speaking, if I want to get Karen to the corner, one thing I can exploit is her weakness of anti-airs. So what I could do with Cammy, this is just one example I'm gonna leave you guys with, is I know that I can change my trajectory. So if Karen already has a hard time anti-airing against characters who can't change their trajectory, what is that gonna tell you about Karen? So let's say if she has bar. If she has bar, I can do this. I can do a whiff dive kick in front of her face, and then she flies and I get a crush counter. Now she's hesitant. What that now does, right? We're just playing Theory Fighter, because sometimes they won't do it. They're like, oh, I know you're in this range. Sometimes they'll just walk up and whiff punish, because that's what you can do. If I know they're doing that, instead I would just commit, right? I'd go up, do a jump medium punch early, because buttons that hit really early in the jump arc, like this, like Zangief's jump medium kick, as an example, it will fuck them up in the middle of their buffer. So you see how I'm like buffering, and they'll get hit because they're not, they're not blocking. Karen is different because her input is backwards, so she might block by accident, even though she's trying to buffer DP. Alright. So let's say if Karen tries to do jab, right? What I could do is I could try to land it early. Let me see. I'd try to use a button that would hit more on the top and try to avoid the hitbox. Right, so that's a mistake. So jump back tab. Yeah, they can air to air too, of course. But the thing about air to air is, if they air to air, let's say, right, they do. Oh, Right? This is dangerous because of this. You could do something like this. Right? So just something you gotta be careful of. That's why it's good to know what your opponent's capable of and all that jazz. And the way you do that is you gotta figure out, well, what are they doing in their tool set? What are they leveraging or utilizing? Because not everybody's gonna use every tool set at their disposal, because that's just not realistic. You know, somebody could be capable of doing it, but in a match you're not gonna use everything, you know? Because some things are gonna take a certain amount of focus, and depending on how you're playing, some players are just not gonna be able to do that. So, let's see. Oh, so you know how I said obviously your objectives you want to play to your strengths, right? Some matchups, however, you're gonna have to start the match off right in your opponent's advantage. So let's say, for example, I'm playing Dhalsim, right? And I'm playing against Zangief. Zangief is automatically in Dhalsim's advantage. He's fighting in his territory because that's where Dhalsim wants to be. Start of the match. Right there and then. Bada bing, bada boom. Starts the match. Oh god, 7-3 matchup, right? But once he gets in, the tides have turned. Now Dhalsim is at the serious disadvantage. And now Dhalsim's like, oh, I gotta get back to where I'm, at advantage, because I want to accomplish my objective, which is maintaining this range and frustrating Zangief and making him lose all this health while he tries to get in, right? So that's essentially what's gonna happen. It's much more different when you have characters that want to play at the same ranges, because then it's about who can impose what, the little the small little subtleties that's going on in the behavior of the matchup, like whiff punishing. If I walk up an inch, like how are you responding to me walking up? How are you responding to me crouching? How are you responding to me walking back? Whiffing a jab, whiffing a medium, whiffing a heavy, neutral jumping, back dashing, dashing forward, whiffing a special in your face. Like, what do you do after you see me do a V-skill and randomly in footsies? When you see me crush counter, all these random little things, like, oh yeah, Mike, I seen you say that yesterday. That was mad funny. That's what made me say that. You're smart. So, yeah, there's that. Let's see, situation. Okay, so in order to accomplish these objectives, this is the. Oh, what's up, Dan Slip? What's going on, brother, man? So the last thing I'm gonna leave you guys with is that's mad funny, Elias. It doesn't make it even, right? So the last thing I want to leave you guys with are so we talked about objectives right now, right? So essentially, you're going to want to accomplish these things, and the way you're going to do it is you're going to have a strategy. So you're going to have a plan, right? If I know I want to get Karen here, how do I get her from here to here? Or even sometimes when I'm here in the corner, how do I get her here? You see what I'm saying? So you're going to want to have strategies, like a plan. Like, you don't want to just freestyle shit. You're going to be like, well, depending on the character, I want to do this. Or just have a very general game plan. Like, with Cammy, I want to do this. With versus, Karen, I want to do this. But with Zangief versus Sim, I want to do this. You see what I'm saying? And that's essentially what you got to do. And the way you're going to accomplish this is you're going to have tactics. So your tactics are very specified strategies. Strategies are very broad, like goals. But tactics are specific, like your objectives. So when their goal is to win, all right, everybody has that. But your objective with characters are different. Cammy, I want to corner you. Zangief, I want to get you a knockdown. Dhalsim, I want to keep you away. Ryu, I want to fireball you and capitalize on your over extension. You see what I'm saying? That's what you're trying to accomplish. You're trying to figure that out with every character. So, let's see. Search. Okay, cool. So, essentially with tactics, right? They're basically... Okay, so let's say with a Cammy specific tactic I have is... I'm going to set it to all block, right? So you can have a tactic from full screen, any ranges, but let's say a up close tactic I have to maintain constant pressure is I would do this block string, right? I'll make a cross block. And I'm plus, right? That's a tactic. And then what I could do is, next time, I just stand and crouch immediately. Because sometimes people will just whiff a button. You just see how do they respond to that one situation. I do this, right? Okay, but the next time I do it, I just stand and crouch. And now they're gonna give me some sort of information. Are they gonna wait or are they gonna press a button? because sometimes a lot of people don't let a crush counter like fly because they think I'm gonna dive kick into the crush counter, so then I get a whiff punish. Other people, they'll DP. So now, because I did this, they DP, now I crush counter. Other people, they'll jump. Other people, they'll stand block because they're trying to mess up, you know, my frame advantage or whatever. Like, all sorts of stuff like that. Just little small subtleties that you wouldn't notice unless you take the time to develop your tactics to supplement your strategy, which then obviously puts you in the position to accomplish your objectives, right? Let's say if you have one over here. The one I showed you guys earlier I do this against Bison too. Anybody that has a stand jab buffer for anti-air, I do this a lot. So like Nakali, Bison, Karen, if I jump in, you know what I'm saying, I'll jump dive kick, right? And I just do that or whatever. And I'm mixing up my approach with just the dive kick. And then there's that one time I just do jump medium punch. And now I've went on top of their button, I hit them. Now they're confused. They're like, oh, what the fuck? So now they're going to try to resort to another button that hits up. So instead, I will just jump EX dive kick. And now they're like, oh shit, this is completely throwing me off. Now they're uncomfortable. And now I'll go sell them the same idea. Like, I'm going to do this again. But now I dash up and I throw them. And now I'm getting closer to the corner, closer to the corner, closer to the corner. So yeah. So just to summarize basically everything as I wrap this up, because I have to hurry up and get ready for work. If you want to master your character, understand what your character is capable of in a variety of situations. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to understand how to create an answer if you need one, or how to avoid a situation entirely. That's up to the player. You'll be able to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to put yourself in a position where it's like, oh my god, I look like an idiot, and then all of a sudden, no! You just don't want that to happen. It's terrible, right? So this is what you gotta do is take your time and you figure out what your character's capable of and all these things. And the way you're gonna go about it is you're gonna figure out what the design of the character is, what their buttons tell you, what their specials tell you, their health, their health and their movement, right? You add these things together, it tells you the narrative. Cammy's capable of this, so she's generally gonna want to do this. All right, so if she wants to do this, how am I gonna go about doing this, right? And what if you fuck up, you lose your teeth? I did not lose any teeth, but okay. Imagine if my dentures fell out. So you have your archetype, you have your objective, you know how to accomplish it. You're gonna put your strategies together in order to create those strategies. You're gonna have tactics. Those tactics you can find top players using. You can come up with them yourself. All sorts of things. So this is basically gonna give you direction what I taught you guys today, or shared with you guys rather. It's just gonna make your process a lot funner. It's gonna be a lot easier. You're gonna trim off a lot of fat. You're not gonna make the mistakes I had to make because I started focusing on the wrong things. There's always gonna be videos of technology out there. You can do that later, but like if you really want to become a top player and you really want to work on things and get better and get those top 8 placements, this is what you gotta do. You gotta figure out what your character's capable of, and then what their character's capable of. And what I need to do to get really good at this game is, what's up, Demon Dan? Yo, that's hype. Yo, you've been killing it lately with the Photoshops, bro. I've been watching. I've been eyeing you. I gotta be careful. I don't want to end up being like this on one of yours. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that to happen at all. So I have to be careful with Demon Dan. That guy's just waiting in the shadows, waiting to Photoshop people. But so, oh, thanks for the follow, bud. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. I'm pretty much done. I hope that helped. I hope that added some sort of value to your day. I appreciate it. It was a lot longer than I expected. I was supposed to be done at 12, but I was just chilling, hanging out with you guys or whatever. Figure out what your character's capable of, what the opponent is capable of. Yep, pretty much. My thing is, in order for me to get to where I was heading in Street Fighter 4, right before the game ended, I was able to play both characters on the screen at the same time. That's what I'm trying to do in this game. So right now, the only character I really know how to play is Karen and Cammy. Those two, that's it. So if I play that match, or if I play against a sim, those matchups, I'm like, okay, I know exactly what you're looking for. But everybody else I've kind of freestyled too much. So I'm going to try to get down to the nitty gritty, just keep doing stuff and whatever. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming again at 11. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing tournament analysis. I'm going to watch some random tournament. Irreverent Rizzy. That's how you say it? I don't know. But thank you for following. I appreciate you guys. So yeah, I'm going to stream tomorrow again at 11. I'm going to do an analysis of some tournament match. I don't know exactly what, but I'm going to do that. Oh, you struggle against Sim? Oh boy. I could definitely help you with that. I love Cammy Sim. That shit is. Runaway Tiger. So if you guys have any recommendations for like a match you want me to do to analyze tomorrow, I'm gonna take like 2 matches, tournament play, and break it down and just discuss stuff. Any matches you guys want to throw my way while I'm at work, I'll just study and analyze it. And I'll be back tomorrow at 11, and I'll probably end like around 12:30 or something like that. But if you guys haven't, please follow me on here on Twitch. Let people know about the stream. As much exposure as I can get, the better, because you know that'll help me with being able to teach more people. That'll get more personalities in here. We'll get to share more. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's just a good thing for everybody. Everybody's winning. You know. So I appreciate all you guys. And if you haven't also followed me on Twitter at Zaffarino1, it's the same as my Twitch. You can shoot me any sort of suggestions if you want to ask questions or anything like that. Just let me know. You know what I'm saying, guys? I appreciate you guys wholeheartedly. You guys are awesome. Yeah, I have nothing else to say. Thank you guys for everything. You guys have an awesome day. I appreciate all of you guys. You guys are the greatest. You guys are the greatest.